The Babe led the Bombers to their first World Championship in 1923.
Break free! A no-hitter, a perfect game for John Lawson.
He got this in his third home run of the game.
Hayes makes the catch. The Yankees win.
The Yankees are back on top. World champions for the 27th time.
Our year didn't start out great. You know, you wake up one morning in July and you're 14 games out of first place. That doesn't give you very much room to do anything. That year was the year that we had to endure all kind of stuff. Everything with the team, with the newspapers that went on strike and everything else, with the hiring and firing of Billy halfway through the season.
Bob Lemon was the manager. Bob had replaced Billy Martin during the season and has sort of calmed a very turbulent and controversial season with his easy, laid-back style.
The 78 season was my favorite season in baseball. I mean, we came back from 14 and a half games back at the All-Star break against a very good Boston team.
We had a team meeting after the All-Star game, and you know, everybody said the same thing. Look, if we're going to lose, let's lose the way that we should be, because they beat us. Let's not lose because we beat ourselves. You know, we started playing great, and then that 4-game series in Boston in September, you know, that turned the whole thing around.
The Yankees propelled themselves atop the AL East, tied with the Red Sox after 162 games. It led to a 163rd game at Fenway Park.
The intensity in the building that day, that game was like nothing I ever experienced before or since. Every pitch, every at-bat was meaningful.
And the most meaningful at-bat came in the 7th inning with Bucky Dent at the dish.
Deep to left. Yastrzemski will not get it. It's a home run. A 3-run home run for Bucky Dent. The Yankees now lead it by a score of 3-2.
The Yankees went on to win 5-4 and advance to the playoffs. Lou Piniella led the Bombers in the regular season with a .314 batting average, good enough for 4th in the American League. Greg Nettles and Reggie Jackson each contributed 27 home runs and 90-plus RBI.
It was the year that Ron Guidry came around, became Ron Guidry, and he was just awesome. He had a great, great year. It was one of the greatest seasons any pitcher ever had, and he carried it through in the World Series.
Ron Guidry won the American League Cy Young Award in 1978. He led the majors with 25 wins, an .893 winning percentage, 9 shutouts, a 1.74 ERA, and a 193 opponent's batting average. Guidry's winning percentage and shutout total, along with his 248 strikeouts, remain single-season franchise records. The Gator would lead his team into the World Series, where the Bombers would face off against their heated rivals, the Los Angeles Dodgers.
In that particular series, we really didn't have our team at full strength. We had Chris Chambliss out, and Willie Randolph was out with an injury in that series, and also Mickey Rivers only played a little bit in that particular series.
Game 1 took place at Dodger Stadium, where the Yankees sent 29-year-old righty Ed Figueroa to the mound. The Dodgers, however, got the best of Figueroa that day, clubbing 3 home runs, 2 of which came off the bat of their captain, Davey Lopes.
Playing like a man possessed, he knocked in 5 of the first 6 Los Angeles runs to send Dodger Stadium into emotional overdrive.
The Dodgers cruised to an 11-5 victory. Tommy John was credited with the win as Los Angeles took a 1-0 series lead. As he did in the 1977 World Series, Catfish Hunter took the hill for the Yankees in Game 2. The veteran starter pitched well through the first 5 innings, yielding just 4 hits and 1 run. After 2 base hits in the 6th, with a 2-1 lead, Hunter faced all-star third baseman Ron Cey.
With this 3-run shot and an earlier single in the 4th, Cey knocked in all 4 Dodger runs. Hunter pitched well, but tonight Cey owns Hunter, and seemingly that's enough.
The Dodgers won Game 2 by a final score of 4-3, putting the Yankees in an 0-2 hole as they headed back to the Bronx.
You know, it was kind of interesting because they didn't pick us to win the division, they didn't pick us to win the World Series, and they didn't pick us, you know, period. And I remember Munson, when we went down Game 2, flying back on the plane, you know, talking about that, and we knew how important the 3rd game was.
Piniella got up and says, "Hey, what's wrong with everybody? They won 2 games last year. They already got there too. Now let's go to business.
We just wanted to get back to Yankee Stadium. We knew we had a great ball club. We had beat them the year before, and 78 was kind of our comeback year. We'd been behind in so many series and been able to come back. We were happy to get back into New York, and we had our ace going, Ron Guidry.
We know we get to Gator, we know we can win one game.
Guidry was fantastic. He had just a dominating fastball. He had that big sweeping slider.
Actually, in the first inning, I hit a home run to give us a 1-0 lead.
Roy White has spent 14 years in the Yankee pinstripes. His homer in the first off Sutton was a reminder of just how much this quiet man has meant to Yankee continuity.
And then after that, I watched Greg Nettles make about 4 great plays and saved me from running into the left field corner. You know, they would have been doubles.
Greg Nettles was just unbelievable. Made tremendous plays at third base.
Nettles, with all their right-hand hitters, was getting a lot of traffic over at third base. There were some hard-hit balls over there. And Nettles made every play imaginable.
Tommy Lasorda had nightmares about Nettles. And Nettles was always a great fielder, but I think that's what got him the attention from the nation.
Ron Guidry, you know, he didn't have his greatest stuff in that particular game, still battled, and we had a great win.
It's said the test of a great pitcher is to win without his best stuff. Louisiana Lightning hit the roof while walking 7 and striking out only 4. But the Yankees won 5-1 and now trailed the Dodgers by only 1 game. Extra innings, middle of the 10th, still 3-3. Welch fidgets because Jackson has singled, moving Roy White into scoring position. Reggie, who had been humbled by Welch in Game 2, calls time to give some advice to Lou Piniella, the next man up.
I prided myself in clutch situations. I liked being up at home plate at those times. My concentration level was really, really good. I already had faced Welch that day one time. He popped me up on a 3-2 pitch. But I got to see 5 or 6 pitches, so I was very attuned to what his velocity was. I knew I was going to get a good fastball to hit. He threw me a fastball out over the plate, and I lined it to right center field, and that was a ball game.
Roy White scores the gamer, and the Yankees win 4-3. Returned from the dead so many times this year, has done it again to deadlock the series at 2 games apiece. Just when it looked like an injury might force him to the bench, the Yankee captain exploded with 5 RBIs in 1 game. But Munson had all kinds of pinstripe company as the Yankees bruised Dodger pitching unmercifully. It didn't matter who served them up. 18 hits, 16 of them singles, a World Series record. With the series tied, Game 5 had to be the biggest challenge of young Jim Beattie's life. The former Dartmouth basketball star had come far since that tear-filled June day when he lost to the Red Sox and was shipped to the minors. When he grabbed Bill Russell's comebacker to end Game 5, he had pitched his first complete Major League game ever and sent his team back to Dodger Stadium with a 3-2 series lead.
Game 6 featured the Yankees' catfish hunter against Dodgers ace Don Sutton.
But the Yankees had 2 big surprises. Brian Doyle, an unknown rookie when the World Series began, and Bucky Dent, who had suffered through an injury-prone, disappointing regular season.
After Doyle and Dent combined for 5 RBI, Reggie Jackson put the nail in the coffin with this 2-run shot in the 7th inning. The Yankees closed out the Dodgers, winning their 2nd straight World Series title.
This was the World Series in which 2 unlikely middle infielders rose to the occasion for the Yankees. Brian Doyle played second base, hit over 400, Bucky Dent at shortstop also had a great series. It was Bucky Dent, amidst all these all-stars, who emerged as the most valuable player of the World Series.
You know, I was just glad to, you know, to be able to be a part of it and be a part of that team because of what we did that year, you know, what we overcame and what we had to go through and where we're at. And then, you know, being able to get locked in and swing the bat well in the World Series was something you always dream of.
As for the pitching staff, Guidry and Beatty won complete games, while Goose Gossage was incredible out of the bullpen, not allowing a single run over 6 innings of work.
To win back-to-back championships was awesome. After winning my first one and then being able to be a part of the second one, you look back on it and you go, wow, those are special years.
All of us felt like we had accomplished something. We were defending champions, and we came back and we backed it up.